Think about how easily you can buy things online these days. I mean, a few clicks, right? And it's done.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Super convenient.
But have you ever found yourself wanting that same ease, but maybe with like the privacy you get when you use actual cash?
Yeah, that's a really common feeling, I think. People like the security of cash sometimes.
Exactly. So, our deep dive today is looking into two interesting solutions that try to do just that: Paysafecard and Paysafecash.
Right. We've dug into, their official websites, a guide from Baxity, some definitions from Monito, and even some real-world chat from Reddit,
Okay.
just to figure out how these things actually work, what the pros are, and maybe where the hiccups might be for users.
Got it. So, let's kick off with Paysafecard. What exactly is that? How does it, function?
Okay, so Paysafecard is basically a prepaid voucher. You buy it for online spending.
Like a gift card.
Sort of, yeah. You can often buy them with cash, maybe at a convenience store, supermarket, gas station, or even online sometimes. Each one has a set value, say €10, €50, whatever, and a 16-digit PIN. And the key thing, no bank account, no credit card needed to use the voucher itself.
Okay, so I've got my voucher, my PAN. How easy is it to actually, use it when I want to buy something online?
Pretty straightforward, usually. When you're checking out online, and Baxity points out it's really popular for gaming, Steam, Roblox, PlayStation, that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. Gaming makes sense.
Definitely. So it helps people who maybe don't have cards or just don't want to put their card details onto, say, a gaming site.
Okay.
You just choose Paysafecard as the payment option, type in that 16-digit PIN.
And that's it.
The amount gets taken off the voucher balance. If you're buying something more expensive, you can often combine PINs from multiple vouchers, too.
What if you use them a lot? Is there a way to manage, like, a bunch of these pins?
Yeah, they have something called a My Paysafecard account. So you can use the vouchers totally anonymously, one by one. But if you make this account, you can load up your PINs there, manage the balance all in one spot. Might unlock other features, too, depending.
How do you top it up, then?
You just buy new vouchers, same as before, and add the new PINs to your account. Simple as that.
Okay, let's talk privacy. That's a big reason people like cash. How does Paysafecard stack up there?
It's pretty good on that front
Yeah.
because you're not sharing personal bank details or credit card numbers online when you use the PIN.
Right.
It gives you a good level of anonymity, helps protect against, identity theft, online fraud.
And then security.
They use standard encryption, the usual stuff, to protect the transaction itself.
Yeah.
But really important point here. Baxity stresses this: only buy vouchers from official sellers,
Yeah.
like their approved list or maybe the Baxity store they mentioned.
To avoid scams.
Exactly. Avoid dodgy websites promising cheap pins, that sort of thing. Stick to the legit sources.
Good advice. Now, costs. Always the important question. Any fees I need to worry about?
Okay, this gets a bit nuanced. Paysafecash, the other service, says they don't currently charge service fees.
Right.
However, for Paysafecard vouchers themselves, Baxity mentions a monthly service fee. It's £3, and it gets deducted from any leftover balance, but only starting the second month after you buy the voucher.
Oh, okay. So if I buy a voucher and don't use it all right away.
Yeah, if you let it sit for over a month with money still on it, that fee kicks in. Something to definitely keep in mind. Use it or potentially lose a bit each month.
That's important. What if I'm, say, buying something priced in dollars, but my voucher is in euros?
Ah, currency conversion. Both Paysafecard and Paysafecash will charge a fee for that.
How much are we talking?
Well, Paysafecash has a converter on their site, so you can see the rate they'll use. But Monito did an analysis and suggests the margin they build in could be like 3% to 6%.
Ouch. That could add up.
It really could, especially on bigger international purchases. So, yeah, factor that conversion cost in.
Are there limits? Like, can I buy a car with Paysafecard? Probably not, right?
No, definitely not. Baxity says a typical maximum transaction is usually around $300. But it can vary.
Okay.
Depends on the country, maybe the specific shop.
Right.
So yeah, for really big buys, it's likely not the right tool.
How do I check how much money is left on my voucher?
Easy. To go to the official Paysafecard website, there's usually a balance checker tool. You just pop in the 16-digit PI.
Okay.
Or if you have that My Paysafecard account, your balance will show up there.
A lot of people use PayPal. Can you, link Paysafecard to PayPal, top up PayPal with it?
Not directly, no. You can't just add it as a funding source.
Right.
Baxity does mention there are some third-party exchange services out there that claim to swap Paysafecard balance for PayPal funds.
But, sound like there's a but.
Yeah, big but.
Yeah.
Exercise extreme caution. These aren't official, not regulated in the same way. High risk of scams.
So probably best to avoid those.
I would say so, generally.
Yeah.
In some countries, they might offer a Paysafecard MasterCard, like a physical or virtual card, that could potentially be linked or used more widely. But that's a separate product, not just the voucher.
Okay, got it. So Paysafecard is the voucher for online privacy, useful for specific things.
Yep, especially gaming, digital goods, places you don't want to use a bank card.
But what if I only have physical cash, like literally notes and coins, and I want to pay for something online? That's where Paysafecash fits in, I guess.
Exactly right. Paysafecash is designed specifically for that scenario, bridging the gap between physical cash and the online world.
How does that actually work then, if I want to use it?
Okay, so let's say you're buying something online, maybe paying a bill. You choose PaySafeCash as the payment method at checkout.
Right.
The system then generates a unique barcode for that specific payment. You can get it sent to your email, SMS, view it in their app, or even print it out.
Okay, I have a barcode. Now what?
Now, you take that barcode on your phone or print it to a physical payment point. Think convenience stores, supermarkets, places like that. PaySafeCash has a store locator on their website to find participating spots near you.
And then,
You go to the cashier, they scan the barcode, you hand over the correct amount of cash.
just like buying groceries?
Pretty much. Once you pay, the system confirms it, and your online purchase is complete, or your online account gets funded.
Ah, so you can use it to add money to online accounts too, like digital banks.
Yes, exactly. They give the example of adding cash to a bank account. You likely start in your bank app, choose PaySafeCash Deposit, enter the amount, get the barcode.
Then go to the shop, pay the cash, and the money appears in your bank account.
That's the idea, yeah. The funds get credited once the cash payment is confirmed at the store.
Okay, what are the main selling points then? Why choose Paysafecash?
Well, according to them, it's quick. It's easy. But the big ones are safety and security.
Because no bank details online.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You're not entering any card numbers or bank logins on the website you're paying. And they also mention the convenience, lots of payment points, often open 24/7.
Makes sense. What about the fees for Paysafecash? Is it free?
This is where it gets a bit tricky and potentially confusing depending on where you live.
Oh.
So the PaySafeCash UK website currently says no service fees are charged. Sounds free, right?
Yeah.
But Monito's research found that in some other countries, specifically the US and Canada, Paysafecash does charge a fee per transaction.
How much?
It was listed as $2.50 in the US, $3.50 in Canada. So quite a difference. No fee mentioned for the UK, but definitely fees elsewhere.
So you really need to check the specifics for your own country.
Absolutely essential. And just like Paysafecard, don't forget that currency conversion fee if you're paying something priced in a different currency. That still applies.
Okay. Now, you mentioned looking at Reddit. Did we find any like real-world feedback on how well Paysafecash actually works?
We did, and it's quite revealing. It highlights a potential gap between how it's supposed to work and the reality on the ground sometimes.
What happened?
There was this user in the Netherlands. They were trying to do exactly what we just discussed, deposit cash into their bank account using Paysafecash.
Okay.
The bank app apparently showed them a whole list of nearby stores that were supposed to be Paysafecash payment points.
Sounds good so far.
But when this person actually went to several of these listed stores, the staff had basically no idea what Paysafecash was. They didn't know how to scan the barcode or process the payment.
Oh, wow. That sounds incredibly frustrating.
Totally. Imagine going store to store, barcode in hand, and just getting blank stares. It really shows there can be, a disconnect. The infrastructure or maybe just the staff training isn't always universally in place, even if a store is listed.
So the system relies on the shop staff knowing what to do.
Pretty much. And if they don't, you're stuck.
Did anyone on Reddit suggest a way around this for that user?
Yeah, someone else chimed in with a potential workaround. They suggested buying a Paysafecard voucher with cash instead,
Okay.
and then trying to find a way to cash that out, maybe transferring its value to their bank account somehow.
But wouldn't that involve fees too?
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
The commenter even cautioned about that potential fees, and it might not be a simple or officially supported process. It really just highlights the potential bumps in the road with using Paysafecash as intended, at least in that user's experience.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. What are the main takeaways for someone thinking about using these?
Okay, so Paysafecard, the voucher one, it's a solid choice if you want anonymous, secure online payments, especially for things like games or digital content. You avoid using bank details online.
But watch out for that inactivity fee if you don't use the balance within a month.
Exactly. Keep that £3 monthly fee in mind starting month 2.
And Paysafecash.
Paysafecash has this great idea of letting you use physical cash for online stuff, keeping things secure. But, as that Reddit story showed, whether it works smoothly really depends.
Yeah. The real-world usability might not match the map, so to speak. You might need to check if local stores actually know how to process it.
Definitely worth checking locally. And remember the potential service fees in places like the US and Canada, even if not currently in the UK.
And for both systems, those currency conversion fees are key if you're buying internationally. They can be, significant.
Absolutely. And always, always buy Paysafecard vouchers from official authorized sellers.
Right.
Avoid dodgy dealers.
Right.
It's also maybe worth knowing that the company behind these, Paysafe, also owns things like Skrill and Neteller. So they have a whole range of online payment tools.
Okay. So bottom line, Paysafecard and Paysafecash offer ways to pay online securely, maybe if you don't have a bank card or just prefer more privacy.
Yeah, they give you options beyond traditional banking.
Yep.
But you absolutely have to be aware of the potential costs.
The inactivity fee for Paysafecard, the potential service fees for Paysafecash, depending where you are, and those currency conversion markups for both.
Know the costs before you dive in.
So maybe something for our listeners to think about. Could one of these methods actually simplify things for you? Maybe for certain types of online spending, or give you that bit of extra privacy you feel you need.
Definitely worth considering your own habits and needs. And for the latest details on fees, participating stores in your area, the best bet is always to check the official Paysafecard and Paysafecash websites directly. Things can change.
Good point. And it leaves us with a bigger thought, doesn't it? As everything becomes more digital, how do we keep balancing that, convenience with our desire for privacy? And what role will solutions like these, trying to connect cash to the digital world, play in the future?
It's a fascinating question. How that balance evolves and whether these cash-based bridges become more common or remain niche.
Yeah, definitely something to ponder.